What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Honestly, it's good to be here. Good to be back. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy, man. Elon Musk and Donald Trump are back together. Dude, and honestly, I'm not even being sarcastic about this. I think it's a good thing. I think both are really cool dudes at the end of the day. And, obviously they're divisive people or whatever, I look at it like this. People will use any excuse to take out political opposition. And that's the saddest part about this, man. That may very well be the saddest part about this, is people just, at the end of the day, are just super hateful. I'll admit, when Charlie was assassinated, I felt angry. The more that time passes, I realize there's things that we could do about this. There are things we could do about this. I know that we can keep focusing on our individual efforts to do what we can to be productive members of society, be good fathers, be good wives, be good whatever. Be the best we can be. Be ethical. Be kind. And, I will say this, though. Kirk died doing what he believed in. And with all of the death threats that conservatives have been getting, it's disturbing. It's disturbing. I just don't get it. Like, what is wrong here? Like, we live in a world where supposedly it's okay, and I'm not saying it is, but the way people act, they think it's okay to do harm to others who disagree with them. It's not okay. It's wrong. And if you need that lesson in morality, I mean, I don't even know what to tell you, man. But yeah, the fact that leftists were celebrating, I still am disgusted by the reaction. Because, yeah, did Charlie use a little bit of tough love towards certain communities? Sure, why not? Some of those communities have been off the charts, off the rails, in many ways. I'm not going to go into it. What I'm trying to say is this. Charlie Kirk was a force for good, whether you care to admit it or not. That's what I'm really trying to say. He was a force for good. You all may not think so, but whatever. And if there's any libs in the chat who want to mess with me about that thesis that I have, that I think he was a good dude, whatever. Because I don't really, at the end of the day, I really don't care what liberals thinks. In fact, liberals, I wouldn't say liberals, I would say the far left or whoever thinks that this is good. They won't apologize, obviously. And I'm not going to make them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay as far away from crazy radical leftists as I can. What this taught me is that they will celebrate the death of somebody who just liked to talk. Keep that in mind. You may not like what somebody has to say, but they don't deserve to die. And I just don't understand. Why would you celebrate somebody's death? Even people I don't like, even people I think are just annoying, I don't want to see them die. In fact, I would feel terrible. Why? You know, it's like... We live in the most... here's the thing, man. We live in the best time technologically, but man, we live in the most desensitized time mentally. We are mentally handicapping ourselves, probably through social media. I think social media, I think it socially and mentally handicaps us. But we're going to do a little bit of reaction video here in a second. Give me a few moments. So we're going to take a quick look at some of the things that's been going on around the world. My boy Elon Musk. I like my boy Elon. I don't think he's that bad. Okay, let's take a look at this Fox News one real quick. Uh-oh. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think Trump's trying to keep a bit of a distance between Elon. He knows that Elon can go a little off the rails, but he knows that Elon's an intelligent dude. So I still think that Donald Trump has a massive respect for Elon. I think Elon also, to some degree, especially after what happened to Charlie Kirk, realized, you know, I went a little overboard. Now, the question is, what kind of... Was our boy Elon doing the whole ketamine thing? I remember there was rumor about ketamine and all this stuff. Don't know how real that is, but let's see. Have you guys... Okay, so is there anybody in the chat that's ever done ketamine? I know it's like a horse tranquilizer or something like that, but I've never actually known anybody who's done that stuff. So I'm really more curious than anything. Anyway, let's react to this video. I think the thing is, it's not putting differences aside. It's embracing that somebody's not us. You know, I'm not a big fan of the whole putting your differences aside. I think you can acknowledge that somebody's different. But I think just embracing somebody doesn't think like you, really kind of thinking that's cool. I think our attitude towards people who are different than us is the problem. And most of the time people are different than us. We all have different life experiences. We're still human. But I think that we're so focused on figuring out common ground, and I hate it when people are always like, we gotta try to find some common ground. That is so dumb. It's annoying. I hate it. I think if we spent more time just really getting to know somebody, then we start to realize, once you get to know somebody, you can't really hate them. You know what I mean? I mean, you can if they've done really, really terrible things, but outside of it, though, even those who didn't know Charlie, it's just sad. Because it's like, dude, the guy did nothing wrong except for say things you didn't like and said that your whole religion's basically stupid. And when I say religion, I mean woke religion. Thank you, Brent J. 100 for 2 jewels, huh? I got the jewels, Betty, the jewels. Thank you for the jewels, man. Brett, thank you for the Vine. Thank you for the jewels, brother. I appreciate it. My man just gave me some jewels, man. I just got free money. Money! Is it money? Oh. We're going to watch the rest of this here in just a second, though. Making sure I didn't skip out on any super chats or anything. I think at the end of the day, a lot of people do like Elon, you know? It's just, like I said, it's just been disappointing. The whole feud between Trump and Elon was a very disappointing saga. And it could have been handled a lot better on both sides. I think both were a little vicious to each other. They could have been nicer to each other, is all I gotta say. Give me a moment. Experiencing some technical difficulties here. Furry tops for Ruben, 2028, says Tim Smith. Oh. Ford Femboy says Mr. Garza is the GOAT. Hashtag, Tim Smith says free Garza. Tim Smith decided instead of saying free Gaza or whatever, he's like, no. Free Garza. Berserk Jane says Charlie Kirk is fat. Well, I could tell by your profile picture where your politics align. Let's see. I'm in a way better mood, brother. I'm in a way better mood. I was really depressed for a little bit because I was really out of sorts and just things just didn't feel like they were falling into the right places. Truth is, they were. They actually were. And I was just in a very dark place. And the reason for the dark place was I had been used to clocking in, clocking out, and being an employee for 13 years. And once I suddenly wasn't, it just kind of hit me at once, and I just kind of felt bad. There was just a lot of things that were going on. A lot of emotions I was feeling. It's tough to explain. Garza in Gaza. What up, Queen? Yes, Queen. Okay, here we go. I just realized the audio was not working. Hold on.
Is going in the future, let's say. And then, of course, there was the political part. But one of the other main themes was that we have to be able to talk about our differences. So I think everybody that loves America wants Donald Trump and Elon Musk on the same side. So the fact they had that handshake, there was a nod. I'll go out on a limb here. I think within 2 weeks.
I will admit, the one thing that bugs me about Ruben is he's like, we just got to accept our differences. And we just got to find common ground. It's like, stop with the common ground talk. It's so annoying. Every time I hear somebody say common ground, I just cringe. It's like, first off, it's pretty easy to find common ground with anybody. If you're a human being, you have common ground. If you live on Earth, you have the common ground. What matters is, really at the end of the day, what matters is we need to respect boundaries, leave each other alone, let people, as long as people are not going out and hurting people, that's pretty much as simple as that. And if somebody actually harms somebody, physically, then boom. But if people are being, I don't know. I think people just need to stop trying to control what people think. It's okay to persuade people. But at the end of the day, people try to get way too forceful with their opinions. That's a big deal to me. I hate that. It pisses me off. Yeah, Dave Rubin is kind of annoying. But, yeah, Riz, we're going to be watching some Donald Trump, baby. Donald Trump gets me going, dude. He gets me wet. All right. Let's watch.
We'll see some sort of them doing something public again together. Yes, was there some anger over the big beautiful bill and which way the budgets are going in deficit, all of that stuff, but that is not what America needs right now, fighting over dollars and cents. What we need right now is what happened yesterday, which was basically a 12-hour revival and restoration of America. That's what Charlie would want, and I have a feeling they're going to put their differences aside to honor that.
Let's hope, man.
Excited to see that
Hell
there
yeah.
is some kind of a public rapprochement. Interestingly, Charlie himself had predicted not that long ago that the two leaders would reconcile at some point. The president, as you well know, tends to have people in and out of his orbit with some regularity. Half the cabinet would not be there today if, he didn't forgive and forget when he felt like he needed to, right?
Oh, absolutely. Look at some of the people who spoke. I mean, Marco Rubio. Trump used to call him Little Marco when he was running against him during a Republican primary. He said all sorts of things about Bobby Kennedy when he was running as a Democrat, which was basically 2 years ago. So this is what Trump is a master at. Trump as an entertainer and as a real estate guy before he was a politician, he had to work with all kinds of people that he would fight with previously to get a building done or get a big housing project or whatever it might be, an infrastructure project in New York City to go. And now we're seeing the best of Trump. He has no problem.
Yeah, here's the thing, man. Trump is surprisingly forgiving. Does he hold a bit of grudges every now and then? Yeah, without a doubt. Is he sick of the woke left? Sure. Who isn't? I think we all we're exhausted with the woke left. Always policing speech and just being generally abrasive. I mean, the left has become the party of the Karen. I call it the Karen party. You know what I mean? The Karens out there of the world, the pearl clutchers, Good example, like the Phillies Karen. There's just a lot of Karens in the world. And I think there's a lot of Karen fatigue, People are tired of people acting like Karens. I sometimes act like a Karen. And is the rising Karens because of social media? I don't know. I don't know, man. What do you guys think?
Putting aside big political fights for the better of the country. Look, he had a really knockdown, drag-out primary with Ron DeSantis. Then they are opening Alligator Alcatraz together. So I have no doubt, and again, I think it's going to be within a couple weeks, you'll see something public with them together because they both also, first off, they both love the country. That's number one. But they also see what most Americans want. One of the themes yesterday was the spiritual side of Charlie and the political side of Charlie. Well, Donald Trump certainly doesn't agree with necessarily all of the political sides that every religious person said there yesterday. But you could feel that everyone was trying to tie these two things together, and that is so honorable relative to what Charlie wanted. He wanted to share his beliefs, but not turn America into a theocracy. I think that's what Donald Trump wants. I think that's what Elon Musk wants. I think it's what most of us want. And we just got to keep building bridges. A lot of people want to.
Yeah. Damn. I mean, I will admit Rubin's hitting on some points. Like I said, Dave Rubin gets a little annoying with the whole common ground. Find common ground. That gets a little old. But outside of it, though, man, I think what's happening right now, I think the reunification, of Mr. Trump and Mr. Musk is a must. By the way, I think it's a good thing. I think it's good for America. I think it's good for business. I think it's good for us all, man. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that it's a bad thing that they're reuniting? Do you think it's good that they're at least kind of grinding out their beefs and starting to, get back together? It's a good makeup sesh. I love it. And I do hope that Elon Musk comes back to work with Trump. We got to save America at some point. And look, Elon Musk is a leader. He's great. And the woke left, that's all I got to say. Let's keep going.
Burn them down right now. We just got to keep building them.
Well, I mean, if the president can forgive Taylor Swift for her criticism of him, there's probably hope
Then
for
all
Elon
bets
too.
are off, yeah.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Dave.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-host Harris Faulkner.
Whoa. He forgave Taylor Swift? See, dude, you see the thing about Trump is, like, he holds grudges for a bit and then he forgives. I will admit. At the end of the day, I really don't think Trump is a bad person. Do I think he's a bit of a skis ball? Yeah, for sure. Here's the raw footage of, so here's a lip reader revealing what was said.
A professional lip reader has revealed that Donald Trump greeted Elon Musk with a friendly, "How are you doing?" during their recent encounter at Charlie Kirk's funeral. Trump then reportedly followed up with, "So Elon, I've heard you wanted to chat." With UFC icon Dana White joining the conversation, Trump allegedly suggested, "Let's try and work out how to get back on track." In response, Musk nodded, prompting Trump to clasp his hand and allegedly say, "I've missed you." Following a
Hell yeah, dude. That's pretty pimp. That's pretty pimp, actually. I dig that. Honestly, I liked it when they were working together, man. I hate seeing people at each other's throats. I like Elon. I like Trump. I've been loving. I still love these two. I still want them to reveal the Epstein list. I really do. I want the Epstein list out there. But I still love these two. I still think they mean well. They are better together than apart, is all I can say.
period of public tension between the two, this exchange hints at a possible thaw in their relationship and the potential for reconciliation.
Good, they're reconciling their differences. I love it, man. This is great. Like, dude. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. We back? We're back, dude. We're back, and we're ready to attack. All right. And we don't know what is whack. Oh, yeah, we're back. Elon and Trump are back, baby. We know it. We're ready to roll, baby. Yeah. Our boys are back. Together on the track. The boys are back. In the night, starts now, baby, roll with us. Chick snapping at the neck when we rolling up. Walking through the club like it gives a fuck. Hey, yo, my dick don't work. That shit is soft as a pillow. My girlie looking at me like, you for real, dude? Now, hold up. Yeah, Keith, let him know. Yo, for real, though, I suffer from stinky dick. Every time I take a piss, it smells just like shit. Straight out the box with my soggy little shrimp. I was an 8-year-old girl before the doctor found my dick. Trying to think what we need to watch next, you guys. Yeah, I mean, they still make some good raps, though. They said the list was there, dude. And I love Trump, but I want to know, where is my list? I need the Epstein list. I need it. You know, I actually didn't end up watching the memorial. I've still been pretty messed up about what happened to Charlie, to be honest. Might react to some of the memorial highlights.
Everyone, I do want to bring it back right now out live here once again to the White House. We got moments ago some sound from President Trump, but now we are getting more of the sound that came.
Let's see. I'm trying. Is that really it, though? I was really hoping to see like a huge, like. I mean, Trump basically said he missed Elon, man. I think Donald Trump has a real admiration for Elon Musk. That's the thing, man. I think they're just both dudes. I think they had a bit of a bromance going on, man. Both people, you know, I could understand how people would want to get bromantically involved. I get it. Well, here's the New York Post saying that Trump and Musk reunite. Let's see, lip reader. So I'm pretty hard right now. Is that weird, you guys, that I'm hard? I'm trying not to be too hard about this. Like, you know, I'm trying not to get too sprung. But the boys are back, dude. Elon and Trump are back together. Mega is back. We're ready. Sorry about that. Just messaging my baby. My baby. I guess we could look up Donald Trump Charlie Kirk Memorial. Oh, wow. I didn't realize there was a whole speech, man. I guess we
thank
can
you
watch
very
it.
much, Lee. You've been there from the beginning with us, Lee, and we
Now, we're going to watch not all of it, but, you know, what we can.
appreciate it. Nobody can sing that song like Lee Greenwood. Thank you very much, Lee, very much for being here. And his voice has not changed, you know? Pretty amazing. And a special thank you to Erica, because today, America is a nation in grief, a nation in shock, and a nation in mourning. Less than 2 weeks ago, our country was robbed of one of the brightest lights of our times, a giant of his generation, and above all, a devoted husband, father, son, Christian, and patriot.
True that, man. Charlie was all of those, man. I think the reason... Here's the thing. The reason Charlie's death hits us hard, and it still does right now, and the reason it still feels as fresh as it does, is because we just felt like we were robbed of a pretty beautiful soul. That's the thing, you know. We're robbed of a good person, man. And a lot of people are angry. And rightfully so. Let's keep watching.
Charles James Kirk was heinously murdered.
His middle name was James. I wonder if that was inspired by from James T. Kirk. That'd be awesome, though, if his middle name was because of Captain James T. Kirk. Charlie James Kirk. I did not know that James was Charlie's middle name. That's awesome.
By a radicalized, cold-blooded monster for speaking the truth that was in his heart. He was violently killed because he spoke for freedom and justice, for God, country, for reason, and for common sense. He was assassinated because he lived bravely, he led boldly, and he argued brilliantly without apology. He did what was right for our nation. And so on that terrible day, September 10th, 2025, our greatest evangelist for American liberty became immortal. He's a martyr now for American freedom. I know I speak for everyone here today.
I will say, for those of you who think that Charlie was the devil, or you think that conservatives are the devil, you've only woken up the movement, just to let you know. You've woken up the movement. And keep that in mind. It's about to get a whole lot more interesting. I'll tell you that. It's about to get very interesting, actually. Let's keep watching. Seriously. You don't realize, man, conservatives are very united about this because we really like this dude. He turned the MAGA movement into a youth movement, for God's sakes. That's impressive. And he was in fact, he was one of the sole reasons that Donald Trump got elected. Anyway, it's just sad that people celebrated a good person getting assassinated like that. Pisses me off.
Today, when I say that none of us will ever forget Charlie Kirk, and neither now will history.
Without a doubt, brother. Without a doubt. The sad part is he wasn't a politician at all. He was somebody he created a company, Turning Point USA, at the age of 18 years old. How impressive is that, dude? And he just had fun making content and debating people, especially college kids. look at college campuses, and it wasn't just college kids he enjoyed debating. He knew that college campuses were a place to should be a place to challenge your pre-existing beliefs. And sometimes you need to hear ideas that are different than yours. Essentially, colleges have become an echo chamber when they were originally meant for you to challenge the echo chamber that you may live in. We live in a world where social media enables us to be enabled. Social media makes it to where there's a real echo chamber in the world of social media. So it's the truth. It's the truth. Let's keep going.
Because while Charlie has been reunited with his creator in heaven, his voice on earth will echo through the generations, and his name will live forever in the eternal chronicle of America's greatest patriots. He will live forever. To Charlie's incredible and beautiful widow, Erica, we know the weight of this monumental loss is almost unbearable. But even in the midst of heartache and pain too great to even fathom, you have somehow found the strength, the deep faith, to be a comfort to millions and millions of people. And thank you very much, Erica. Thank you very much.
I'm actually really impressed with Erica's strength, man. I'll tell you what, if I would probably be having mental breakdown after mental breakdown after mental breakdown if my girlfriend passed away. I don't even like to think about that. That hurts too much. Like, it's that legitimately, I don't even like say it hurts. It legitimately hurts. So I can't imagine what Erica's going through, man. I don't even want to. It just sucks that she has to be the one to face that type of reality. I think she was aware of the risks, but just because you're aware of the risks, stuff like this still shouldn't happen. You know, the fact that it's too many. It's sick. It's frustrating, man. It hurts.
Today, an entire nation wraps its loving arms around you and beautiful children. We share in your immense and overwhelming sorrow, and we vow that we will do everything we can to ensure that your children grow up in a land where their father is honored and revered as a great American hero. That's what he is.
I consider Charlie a hero. Absolutely. He died doing what he loved to do. He was an entrepreneur. By the way, it takes courage to be an entrepreneur. It's a risky business. Nowadays, it's a lot easier to become an entrepreneur. But the fact that he started the Turning Point business at the age of 18 is very impressive, by the way. Very impressive.
To Charlie's parents who lost their beloved son, and to the entire Kirk family, we know that no words can ever be enough to fill the void he leaves behind. That's a void that just can't be filled. But I hope the extraordinary outpouring of emotion over these past 11 days has comforted you with the knowledge that your son brought more good and love into this world in his 31 short years than most people, even very, very successful people, can bring in a lifetime.
I mean, if you think about it, man, the amount of candlelit vigils held for Charlie Kirk. He wasn't even a politician. That's still the thing that bewilders me. He could have been. He was the CEO of his own company. He's just a widely successful dude, but everybody knew him. He went viral because he spoke the truth. You know? And I think that's one of the reasons why Charlie Kirk was so well known. Because one, he used the power of social media. Two, he spoke truth to power. He spoke his truth. And not only his truth, a pretty well-regarded truth. I think the truths that we all say to ourselves, but are too we're too much of pussies to say aloud ourselves. He said those things aloud. And for that, I respect it. Did he say some off-color remarks? Probably. Sure. Don't we all? We gotta stop acting like we're perfect. And we gotta stop. Here's the thing. We gotta stop expecting higher things out of others than we expect out of ourselves. If you want somebody to be perfect, that's not you. You yourself need to be perfect, and then if you want to expect that out of somebody, then go for it. But you're not perfect. You're flawed. All of you guys. Everybody in the chat. So, I'm excited. But I love Kirk, man. Like, I'm a huge Charlie Kirk fan. Like, I've been a Kirk fan for a very long time. And it hit me, man. It hit me hard. Like, to the point where I just was very confused. And, you know, that tightness in your chest, tightness in your stomach, because you just feel like something just doesn't seem off. That's how I felt when he passed away. Not just passed away. He was brutally murdered. He was assassinated. Let's not candycoat that. I think what really hurt me the most was not the fact that he was killed the way he was killed. What hurt me the most is that somebody who was only guilty of debating, by the way, which is not a crime, and saying unpopular things, which is also not a crime, get shot by somebody with, I'm just going to say, certain types of politics, and we already know, based on those text messages with the furry boyfriend, that Tyler Robinson, the alleged shooter, we all know what his leanings were, based on those weird-ass text messages. Either way, it's just one of those things for me, man. I'm a Trump fan. I'm an Elon fan. I'm a Charlie Kirk fan. But when Kirk got killed for promoting basic family values, it's like, yeah, I don't know. The Democrat Party has lost the plot, and I'm not saying I'm like a full-on Republican, but I'll say this: if you gave me a choice between being Democrat, Republican, or MAGA, I'm MAGA, baby. Because you know what? Being MAGA means you want to make America great again. You're tired of the status quo. You want to see a better, brighter future. Yeah, and I'm not going to be called Nazi or racist anymore for being a functioning human being who just wants to see a better America. So if anybody out there who wants to gaslight me for saying I'm MAGA, I'm MAGA. I'm fine with it. I'm comfortable with it because it's my right to have a political opinion. And I shouldn't be persecuted or assassinated for it. Sorry, that was a little more long-winded than I expected, and my apologies. I try not to be so long-winded with these diatribes that I go on, but let's keep going.
Charlie Kirk loved America with everything he had, and as we can see so clearly today, America loved Charlie Kirk. And he could always draw a big crowd. Look at this today. Look at what's gone on. This is a big crowd. Here today we have the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance. We have the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, Mike Johnson. We have countless members of the United States Senate, and I'm sorry I'm not going to introduce you, but I'll be up here. They're all over the place. And likewise, the House of Representatives, they're all over this big stadium. This is not an arena, this is a stadium. Our great cabinet and this stadium packed with rafters of people, not to mention the one across the street that also has tens of thousands of people, and they're watching us on screen right now. And I'm sorry we couldn't get you in. If anybody would like to give up your seat, please walk across this way. But this is like an old-time revival, isn't it? An old-time revival.
Yeah. The revival of a movement. Because I will admit, the MAGA movement was kind of, it felt, there was a lot of disconnect between, the Epstein files thing is still a problem to a lot of us. It's still a problem for me. I want those files to be released to the public, because I think there's still a lot of people who think that it's weird how Trump has been acting about these files. The files, I think, really do need to be released. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my boy, dude. I love Trump. I think he's the man. But I want to see those files, man. While we're waiting for some super chats and chats and super chats. Now, super chats are highlighted in red first. We pretty much we do primarily super chats, but we do make exceptions for great comments as well. There's just so many people who come into the chat, it's tough to keep up with everybody. One moment. I gotta eat real quick, guys. Hold on. We'll watch the rest of this in a moment. Give me just a few seconds. Tim Smith has taken a break from watching people react to the song Love Shack to check out Garza's stream. Hell yeah. I'm eating right now, but we're going to react to some more videos. We're going to react to Trump's speech at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, for some of it, not all of it. But Tim Smith, it's good to see you in the house, my brother. Mr. Donaldson says Trump is the GOAT. By the way, become a channel member today and kick some butt. Let's go. One moment. Cheers. So good. Best pizza in the world, man. Oh yeah. We'll get back to regularly scheduled program in a second. Hold on. Woo. We're ready. We are ready. Now you ready? And now you ready for what's to come. No, I said, are you ready? And now you ready? For what's to come. Oh yeah, let's roll. Rocket, man. What the hell? Mr. Michael Donaldson, what are you doing, bro? I just want to sing you all a love song in a man thong. I want to sing in a man thong. Tell me now, where did it go? Here I say, do it now. Timothy Sokol says, eat on your own time. This is my own time, dude. This is my show. All right? My show. Timothy Sokol. I bet you're eating chips off your chest, Timothy Sokol. That's my assumption. Oh my god. This is a Totino's pizza, by the way. All right, Tim. Tim Sokol. Tim Sokol's the man. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Let's ride. Let's get it. All right. Let's react to the rest of this. To our boy Trump dog, dude. All right, let's roll.
For millions of Americans, especially young people, it is agonizing and unthinkable to say goodbye to a patriot whose heart still had so much to give. It's so much. Raised in the suburbs of Chicago, Charlie was filled with a patriotic spirit from his youth, and he was an all-American in everything he did. And one of the last things he said to me is, "Please, sir, save Chicago." We're going to do that. We're going to save Chicago from horrible crime. In high school, he was the quarterback of the football team and the captain of the basketball team. He was a good athlete. A lot of people don't know that about Charlie.
Okay. That explains that video I watched the other day where he's actually throwing a football. And, dude, he was actually pretty good. And also, by the way, fun fact about Charlie Kirk. Dude was 6'5". Dude was about 6'5" or something. Yeah, I think he's about 6'5". That is the most wild thing to me. I don't know if he ever would have been pros as a quarterback or anything, but damn. When you're 6'5", if you can sling the pill, like a beast. I mean, height does matter on a quarterback. That's wild, man. I'm going to have to look up some Charlie Kirk football highlights.
He was an Eagle Scout who spent his school lunch breaks listening to another champion for liberty, somebody that he greatly admired, Rush Limbaugh.
I never really listened to a lot of Rush Limbaugh. I've heard like clips, but he's a big conservative voice on AM radio, man. Huge conservative voice on AM radio. Love Rush.
But what was even more important to Charlie than politics and service was the choice he made in the 5th grade, which he called the most important decision of his life, to become a Christian and a follower of his Savior, Jesus Christ. Inspired by faith and his love of freedom, Charlie did something remarkable when he was just 18 years old. On the advice of a mentor who told him to put off going to college because he was doing so well, he devoted his life to converting young people to the...
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. I mean, when you're doing really well, and college just doesn't seem like a good idea and just takes too long. And that was one of the big things for Charlie. Charlie felt that college would just take too long anyway. So his mentor was kind of on the same page as Charlie on that one. So I like the fact that Charlie basically gave the middle finger to the institution and said, yeah, I'm not going to this. This is... And he also understood the rot. That was the best part about Charlie, is he understood the rot that was happening on college campuses, which is one of the reasons why he went to college campuses, because there was so much brainwashing at the college campuses. So now we're basically at this point, we're so sick of the left. You know, and I'm not going to tell you why. I think we all know why, though. We're just exhausted. We have leftist fatigue at the end of the day. And we're done with it. We're done with the left. Like, we're just tired of being told what to do by immature college students. We're tired of being violently harassed by these people. We're done with it. I don't really consider myself a conservative, But just as a big middle finger to the left, I'll say I'm a conservative in spirit for sure at this point. I'm a classic liberal at the end of the day. If anything, I'd probably consider myself also a Lincoln-style Republican. We're all a mixture of things at the end of the day.
Conservative cause. How did he do? Take a look. How did he do? In 2012, 2 days after graduating high school, and with just $1,800 in his pocket, the young man from Illinois, who no one had ever heard of, started an organization whose grand ambitions were captured in its name, Turning Point USA. Great name. And I have a feeling it's going to be bigger and better than ever before. Does that make sense? It's going to be bigger and better than ever before. Look at what's happening.
And by the way, after what happened to Charlie, man, Turning Point USA is going to become one of the biggest organizations for the conservative movement, without a doubt. There were so many places that wanted to start a Turning Point chapter in their area. How crazy and cool is that? Yeah. But the fact that, I don't know, I just... Speechless, man. Charlie was a big influence on my life, and I always thought it would be cool to eventually get to meet the dude, because I always admired his viewpoint on things. Obviously, we far different as people, you know, when it came down to it. Obviously I'm not very religious in any way, but didn't stop me from loving the guy. I've had plenty of mentors who are religious, atheist, agnostic. Doesn't really matter what your creed or religion is. You believe what you believe. And you know what you know, and you have experience. Charlie was a mentor to me in a lot of ways. A mentor I never got to meet. But all my mentors I've never met, actually. Except for, I did get to at least meet William Shatner. And even though he didn't write the lines for Captain Kirk, he spoke them. And I almost felt like Captain Kirk was a mentor to me. Captain James T. Kirk, but also Charlie Kirk was also a mentor to me as well. But I did get to meet William Shatner, who spoke those beautiful words. And when I met him in 2013 at the Star Trek convention in Seattle, I treasure that moment in my life. Those were beautiful moments, man. But yeah, anyway, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. What Kirk did, what Charlie Kirk has done, he was martyred. He was martyred for what he believed in, man.
12 years ago, Charlie walked onto his first college campus, the very liberal University of Wisconsin at Madison. He set up a card table and put up a sign with 3 words, "Big government sucks." Could you believe that? That's Charlie.
Big government sucks. You know what? I'm inspired by that, actually. So let me hear that again. So a fold-out table, went to a college campus. So fold-out table. And he kept it simple even in the beginning. His formula was simple. Fold-out table plus cardboard sign. Big government sucks is what it says on the side. Quotes, big government sucks. So fold-out table, cardboard sign that says big government sucks, and a chair. Plus a chair. And that's so cool. I'm inspired. In fact, you know what I think I'm going to do? In honor of Charlie Kirk, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one of my fold-out tables. I'm going to get a piece of cardboard, and I'm going to put big government sucks on that cardboard. Because I agree with that. Like, I believe the smaller the government, the smaller the federal government, the better. Make federal government small again. But yeah, so basically Charlie's OG Charlie Kirk set up a regular fold-out table had a cardboard sign, and he wrote on that sign that said, "Big government sucks," plus a chair. And what else did he do?
That day, Charlie talked to every student who approached him, most of whom
Talk to everyone. So I love the we can understand the Charlie Kirk formula and become that, right? We could become that, which is kind of cool. Talk to everyone on campus. This is great, man. This is fantastic.
whom were probably quite a bit older than he was. Finally, after many hours, he found the first ever turning point chapter leader. His first year out of high school, Charlie traveled 300 days raising money and taking his message to campuses all over the country. He lived out of his parents' basement, and they actually loved having him there. They loved Charlie. Everybody loved Charlie. And on the couches of friends and supporters, he lived off couches for 2 years, 3 years. Then
that's inspiring, man. The man lived on. I'm taking notes of this, man. I mean, I don't have to do this work. You know, I don't have to model this. I guess you could say word for word, but let's see. Lived off friends' couches and family. Wow. And stayed in his parents' basement. Like, that's. You know, the thing is, there's nothing wrong with moving back into your parents or staying with your parents. If you have a goal in mind and you're trying to accomplish that goal, and you live with your parents, I think it's great. I think it's fantastic, especially in today's age, man. Things are just very expensive, and I do believe big government has ruined a lot of stuff. Big government has ruined a lot of stuff. So the fact that he had a cardboard sign that said "Big government sucks," man, that is the most Charlie Kirk. That's a traditional Republican thing, man. We don't like, and look, I consider myself a Lincoln-style Republican, an Abe Lincoln Republican at the end of the day. I don't like big government. I do believe in freedom of expression. I hate slavery. Slavery's terrible. Lincoln and I love Abe Lincoln, man. I think he's a big role model. And fun fact, by the way, in the show Star Trek, the original series, James T. Kirk, Captain Kirk, was a huge Abe Lincoln fan. Abe Lincoln was a huge role model for him. Same with me. I love Abe Lincoln. So, my point is, I'm trying to see. Go off on too many. I will admit I go off on too many tangents. It's one big thing. Too many bloody tangents. Let's keep watching.
life started getting a little bit different, but he was always the same. For 5 years, he refused to take a paycheck, but day after day, he worked from 5 a.m. in the morning till 11 p.m. in the evening, always. His staff remembers that he wore Walmart jeans and T-shirts from the Goodwill store. Remember the Goodwill store? It wasn't easy, but Charlie wasn't in it for money at all, never has been. Money was never his thing. He was always in it for the mission. As he liked to say even back then, we have a country to save. Just what he did. He'd call me all the time, "Sir, we have a country to save." I said...
That's wild, man. That really is wild. Charlie was a heck of a dude, man. Even though Charlie was wealthy beyond measure, he was doing it for the mission. You could tell. You could tell he firmly believed in what he was doing. And in a lot of ways, that's very important to keep in mind. The dude believed in what he was doing. That's a huge factor.
Charlie, thanks very much for telling me that. I appreciate it. Charlie volunteered for my 2016 campaign and traveled the nation with my son Don and Eric. I got to know him very well and saw immediately that Charlie was actually a master builder of people. It was Charlie who first started organizing young black conservatives hungry for support and leadership. It was Charlie who stood up for persecuted Christians and Jews.
For everybody who says he's racist, by the way, who says that Charlie Kirk is racist, he actually wanted African Americans to vote Republican. He didn't alienate them. If anything, he didn't really care naturally about their race. It wasn't the biggest part about their identity. What mattered was, did they want a better America or not? At the end of the day, that was the most important thing to him. It's wild, man.
On college campuses. It was Charlie who helped bring online censorship, free speech, and cancel culture to the fore of our political debate. He was right up there with me. It was Charlie who helped unite MAGA, and you know what MAHA is? That's right, Make America Healthy Again. And tomorrow we're going to have one of the biggest announcements, really medically, I think, in the history of our country. We're going to be doing it with Bobby and Oz and all of the professionals. I think you're going to find it to be amazing. I think we found an answer to autism. How about that? Autism. Tomorrow we're going to be talking in the Oval Office in the White House about autism, how it happens, so we won't let it happen anymore, and how to get at least somewhat better when you have it, so that parents can help their child, their beautiful child. That's a big one. I've been bugging everybody over there, get the answer to that. You know, 20 years ago, 1 in 10,000 were born with autism. 20 years ago. The most recent survey says 1 in 12. How bad is that? That's for young boys, baby boys, but also girls a little bit better. It's about 1 in 20. But we can't, because obviously there was something really wrong, and we think we know what that is. It's going to be, I think it's going to be one of the most important news conferences I'll ever have, and I look so forward to it. And you know who else looked forward to it? Because he knew. I tell him a little bit about what was going on. Was Charlie. He would have been front row center, believe me. We'll be missing him tomorrow. It was such a big deal for him, too. He brought together Donald Trump, Bobby Kennedy, right here in the great state of Arizona 1 year ago. Remember that? What a night, what a day that was.
The Make America Healthy Again, man. Him and RFK, I think... didn't Trump recently talk about... I think that was probably the meeting where he basically said that Tylenol is bad for babies. Or he was saying something about Tylenol being bad for pregnant mothers or something. I don't know all the studies behind it, so I can't say if I agree or disagree. But it wouldn't surprise me if acetaminophen was not necessarily good for the fetus of a pregnant mother. At least in my mind. I don't know. I don't have all the answers.
And it was Charlie who was among the first to speak to me about a man from Ohio by the name of J.D. Vance. Have you ever heard of him? He's doing a good job.
J.D. Vance, dude.
But Charlie...
I'd rather have Vance in my pants than walls in my balls. It is cool that Charlie knew of J.D. Vance and basically pointed. It sounds like, from what I've heard, sounds like J.D. Vance was pointed by Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk has told Trump, hey, this smart dude, really cool dude, J.D. Vance, we need him.
Charlie would often call me, sometimes the night before a big event, the other side of the country. And he'd ask me, he'd say, do you think you could come and speak at the event? The following day, right? I'd say, Charlie, I'm the president of the United States. You want me to travel 4 hours by plane? And you know, sometimes I did it. He was a very good guy. He was a very convincing guy. He didn't stop, but he would ask for things like that. Sir, could you be tomorrow in California? I said, Charlie, give me a break, please. He just wouldn't stop. And he succeeded. But I almost always went because you never wanted to let Charlie down. He worked so hard. You just didn't want to let him down. I felt guilty. It'd make me feel very guilty. As president, many people asked me for things, but Charlie was one of the few who always gave more than he took. He was a giver, much more than a taker. And no matter how...
I could agree with that. You know, something about that's another reason why I love Charlie so much. He always felt like he was trying to give wisdom of some kind. He was trying to give himself in the debates, even though he was dealing with lunatic college kids. When he talked to them, he did have sincerity. He did have care. And for people who can't see that, and the problem is everybody's so ingrained in the politics of whose side is who, and if you're a conservative, you're a fascist. Ooh, that is so annoying, man. Just because somebody's conservative does not mean they're fascist. It's just true. But that's the state of the world. State of the world. There's a lot of haters coming into the chat, by the way. If there's any haters in the chat, if you want me to read your message aloud and highlight it, send me a super chat. You want me to read your filth? Super chat it. Let's keep going.
Big Charlie became, no one was too small for him to notice. He was good to everybody. Didn't matter. Several years ago, a fourth grader asked Charlie to appear on his podcast, which was probably only watched by the parents of that fourth grader. And Charlie, who was actually pretty hot at the time, to be honest, he agreed, and the boy...
That's so cool, man. He was on a fourth grader's podcast. That's funny. That's cool, though. This is kind. This is the fact that a big name guy like that would actually take his time to do that. Man, I should have requested. Maybe he would have went on my show. It would have been neat to have Charlie on my show, though. I know that probably would have never happened, but if he didn't get assassinated and was still doing his thing, and if I got bigger as a show, he'd probably consider going on my show. If I had 100,000 subscribers and I had an audience that he could tap into, I would have loved it. Because, no, I think the Turning Point USA movement is fantastic, is still fantastic, and, you know, he was the soul. He was the big soul behind that, and I think there's a lot of good souls behind Turning Point, I'm sure, but it's like when, I guess the only comparison I could think of in the business world is like when Steve Jobs left Apple Computers. Obviously, Steve didn't die after he left, but the soul of the company, I felt, went in the wrong direction without him. He was definitely a visionary, for sure. Charlie was a visionary. So hopefully his vision can continue. His stance on trying to save America and saying that big government sucks. Like, I think it's cool that he was so anti-big government. You know what I mean? I think that's a big deal. In Charlie we trust, baby. In Charlie we trust. I love this. I love that dude. Such a cool dude.
Asked for advice. Charlie replied, the left. I call it the radical left. I call it sometimes the radical left lunatics. But Charlie didn't say that. He called it the left. He was probably right, but I can't help it. I can't help it.
The lefty lunatics. I mean, I say that all the time. The lunatic left is what I call it. Charlie was just a lot nicer. He just called him the left. See, that's the thing about Charlie, man. Even though he disagreed with a lot of these people very much so, he wasn't like Donald or I. You know, we call the left lunatics, and I call it the lunatic left, same div. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Just fuck. Oh, hold on, I got pop my neck. Okay.
So he said the left, radical left lunatics, may have all the money in the world, but they could never outwork me. I will wake up as early as I need to about himself. I will stay up as late as I need to, and I will never stop fighting for our country. And he did this until his dying breath. That's what he was doing. That's what he was doing. Think of it. Wow. What a horrible moment. I was in the Oval Office when I heard they came in, and it was like a surreal experience, a terrible, terrible. I had some very big people in the Oval Office, and I was in the midst of a very important conversation for our country. Big people, the biggest. And I said, you have to leave now. When they told me that, they told me in front of a group of very powerful people. I said, you have to leave now, right now, please. Right now. You have to leave. Go. By his own determination and skill, Charlie Kirk built Turning Point from his humble beginnings, the beginnings that nobody believed could ever end up something like this, into a great movement and a juggernaut of American politics. And you know, we have a massive stadium loaded up with people, but he got tremendous crowds before he had this kind of horrible news and before we had to hear what happened so terribly. He delivered more than 250 speeches a year at over 200 colleges and universities, and that was at a time when it was not...
Charlie really was a hard worker, man. Like, some of this I didn't even know about him. I didn't realize just how determined he was. I don't know everything about the guy, but man, I'll tell you, his videos were awesome, and I did see his work ethic, but I didn't know it was to this extent, man. The guy, it's just like Kobe Bryant. You know, I modeled definitely a lot of my work ethic after Kobe Bryant, another person who was taken from us a little too soon. All these really incredible people, man. They had a vision. They worked toward the vision. They worked hard. They put their blood, sweat, and tears into, you know, whatever they're doing, and it's honestly inspiring, man. So I love Charlie, man. Charlie's the GOAT. The greatest of all time, baby. You know, the way Charlie talks, the way that Trump talks about Charlie, man, it's kind of beautiful. You could tell Charlie meant a lot to him. And he talks so fondly about him. He talks ever so fondly about Charlie, man. I love it. It's beautiful.
Really vogue to go to colleges and universities if you were a conservative. It really took great courage. And we used to talk, and I said, you know, I think they're much more conservative than we know, and he agreed, but it just wasn't something that was happening because the radical left would do very bad things, very dangerous things. But Charlie set up chapters on 2,200 campuses and spoke at more than 1,000 churches. He launched a podcast and radio show that grew to an audience of 1 million Americans a day, one of the bigger...
That's crazy, man. His podcast was getting really big. Like, it was getting super big. I'm a little tired. Sorry about that, you guys. The speech is beautiful, man. It's a good speech so far, man. But yeah, big government is an issue, though, for sure.
Shows on radio, and Charlie didn't just bring young people into the movement. All of a sudden, it started to grow by leaps and bounds. By 2024, we won more young people than any Republican candidate in the history of our country, including, for the first time, a majority of males under 30. Can you believe it? Remember when Republican presidential candidates would get 4%? No, we did unbelievably with young people, and he was a big, big factor. Unbelievable. But he made me work for it. Sir, you have to make a speech here, you have to make a speech there. But we did it, and we won, and our country is doing unbelievably well now. We had a country that was dead.
Like I said, Charlie was a big coordinator in the MAGA movement. This is why anybody who says that Elon was the biggest factor in getting Trump elected, no. First off, the two big factors were Trump almost getting killed after being shot in the ear. The second was Charlie coordinating and telling Trump how to reach the young people. If it wasn't for Charlie, man, I mean, I think that Trump would have got quite a chunk of the young vote because I think a lot of the youth is tired of the left because they realize how toxic the modern left is. So yeah, it makes sense.
One year ago, and now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. And Charlie helped us make it that. One of the great people. But through it all, the core of Charlie's message and his basic method never changed. It never really changed. He stayed the same person also. At every campus event, Charlie asked the people who disagreed with him to come forward, and instead of silencing them, he handed them a microphone and let them speak. And he convinced so many of them. It was pretty amazing.
This is one of the most honorable things about Charlie, was he didn't want to shut you up. He really didn't. He wanted to hear what you were thinking. He would tell you that you were wrong. Like most college kids who are leftists, they're usually wrong, at least in my opinion. And I don't know. Look, Charlie was a net positive for society. And some people may not think that. But he was. Whether you choose to admit it or not. People who are divisive are not bad people. There's nothing wrong with being divisive. There's nothing wrong with being controversial. I want to make that clear. Being controversial and divisive is kind of a badge of honor if you think about it. It means you're forcing people to think, putting ideas out there that aren't comfortable to always talk about. You may not agree with them, you may agree with them, but he forced people to critically think about things. And I think that he was bringing critical thinking to college campuses, and that was a big deal. It mattered quite a bit. I don't know. Let's keep rolling with it.
Amazing thing to watch, actually. Shortly before Charlie arrived on campus, the day he was assassinated, a staff member texted him that there were many critics and students who were opposed to his views, and rather strenuously in the crowd. And that actually made him feel good because he wanted to convince them. He understood. He really did. He understood what was right, and he was right about that. A lot of it was based on common sense, by the way. Charlie wrote back to the staff member saying, "I'm not here to fight them. I want to know them and love them, and I want to reach them and try and lead them into a great way of life."
The fact that he texted his staff member that proves the kind of person that Charlie was. You leftists keep accusing this man of hatred. I don't see it. He disagreed with you. Disagreeing with you doesn't mean he hates you. In fact, disagreeing with the left, in my opinion, is probably the smartest thing you can do at this point. Or the dumbest thing, depending on what actions the left takes up. But you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Save America, man. Save America. And people should no longer... If people are supporting... There's just something wrong with the soul of America when there's a lot of disgusting people happy about a man being shot for only debating and thinking that, oh, he had it coming to him. He had it coming to him. We should not normalize that. Why should we normalize that? Why? Normalize somebody getting shot because they speak their beliefs on public platforms? We shouldn't even encourage that. It's disgusting to encourage that, man. I need a second. So I'm still happy to talk about Kirk. Like I said, I think he's just an incredible human being. And honestly, it's an honor to be able to discuss the man. Give me one moment, though. I am checking something real quick. How do you know about me wearing socks in the pool? I'm trying to sell something for $30.78. I'm swing trading the S-bit real quick because it's fun. The S-bit, I call it S-bit, my big tit, dude. I love the S-bit. It makes me randy. Is there a specific ETF that gets you guys all sprung up in your pants? Anybody? Yeah, the left is whacked, man. Left is whacked. Let's keep listening to this.
In our country. In that private moment on his dying day, we find everything we need to know about who Charlie Kirk truly was. He was a missionary with a noble spirit and a great, great purpose. He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent. And I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica. But now Erica can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right, but I can't stand it.
I will admit that's one of the things I do like about Trump, though. He is a fighter, and if he's going up against his opponent, he, at the time doesn't like him, sees them as the enemy, and that's kind of how you have to be. Unfortunately, if you're fighting against somebody who is trying to harm you and hurt you, maybe you have to see them as the enemy. But Charlie was just different, man. Charlie was like, I guess the best thing, if you were to compare Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump on this one, and even Elon Musk, we'll compare all three of them. If we're going to compare them to martial arts fighting styles, I would say Charlie Kirk was Aikido, the peaceful way of fighting. Donald Trump is more like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And then Elon Musk is probably... I don't know, Muay Thai. I don't know. But, it's so funny, man. Even a guy like Charlie Kirk can just change a guy like Donald Trump. There's just something that was magical about Charlie. And it's sad that people saw him as an arbiter of hate when, by the way, all the clips, all the quotes, they're all taken out of context. I ended up listening to the clips in context, by the way, where those quotes came from, and found that they just clipped them. Because it's like, it's funny. If you want to make a hit piece on somebody, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is just take word for word the quote, even if they're meaning it sarcastically or trying to use it as an example. That's what the left does. That's what any political party does that has a warped, toxic culture. I even think the right was pretty toxic at one point. Now I think the right makes perfect sense. I feel like we're on the way back to Abe Lincoln-style Republicans. I really do. Call me a little optimistic. But I think we're on the right track to getting back to small federal government. I really do. And I appreciate Charlie's vision because, one, I align with it completely. I want small federal government. That's the way it needs to be. But yeah, it's a crazy scenario, man. It gets a little weirder the more you dive into it, the more you look into it, and yeah. But let's keep watching Trump on this one. Let's keep going. You guys excited to watch a little more Trump? I am. I really do enjoy watching Donald Trump clips, though. Like I said, I'm a huge Trump fan. Sadly, there's people out there who just think that Trump is a bad person, and obviously, you know me, I don't agree with that in the slightest. I think that Trump's a pretty cool dude. It's just, I don't know. Let's keep going.
And my opponent. Charlie's angry. Look at that. He's angry at me now.
It's so cool. You know, and that still blows my mind that people saw Charlie as a hateful figure. The way he talked to his staff, he was a kind man. I know it's tough for you guys to believe that anybody with conservative values or even right-leaning values is a good person, but guess what? They are. Most of them are. You're creating a devil that doesn't exist. So leftists out there, stop with the death threats. Just stop it. It is stupid. God, it's stupid. It's so dumb. If somebody thinks differently than you, you don't go out there and hurt them. Use your words. Put out better ideas. And if you can't put out better ideas, I know what your alternative, unfortunately, is. Because we see it all the time. We have left exhaustion. That's what we have right now. We have leftist exhaustion. And we're done with it. So I'm glad I voted for Trump in 2024. Glad I voted for Trump in 2020. Glad I voted for him in 2016. Because a lot of us have just really, really grown tired of being told what to do and threatened by terrible leftists. That's my point. Let's keep going.
He wasn't interested in demonizing anyone. He was interested in persuading everyone to the ideas and principles he believed were good, right, and true. Before each appearance, he prayed these words: God, use me for your will. Always said the same thing: use me for your will. And that is exactly what God did. When you think, that's exactly what he did. The more success Charlie had, and he was getting more and more successful, the more dangerous his mission became. On campuses all over the country, his quest for open dialogue was met with menacing hate. There were bomb threats, pulled fire alarms, and countless rage.
You know what's funny? Charlie Kirk, out of everybody, and I think Donald Trump is alluding to this, Charlie was actually probably, if we're going to be frank about this, was the most moderate Republican I've ever seen. You know what I mean? He wasn't full on MAGA. He was just a standard Christian Republican who wanted to see smaller federal government. He wanted to see less government, really. That's all he was really guilty of, was just saying that there's too many government programs, that government has ruined more communities of color. And he meant that. He wanted to see a better world for everybody, of all mixes of races, you know. It's crazy to me. It's messed up. What are we talking about, by the way? The chat has become so convoluted. There's so many people in chat right now. You guys, just... There's too many people in chat. Just do a super chat. If you want me to read your chat aloud, and just do a super chat. All right? Let's keep going.
Filled radicals who tried to shout him down. It was nasty. I used to say, Charlie, this is nasty stuff you're doing. At one event, police had to build barricades to protect students from an angry mob of thugs. Many of these people, by the way,
I mean, like Winston Churchill said, if you haven't made any enemies, you haven't stood up for anything. And you know, Charlie stood up for things. That's probably why he had enemies. He stood up for his truth, his beliefs, and you accumulate a lot of enemies at that point. So it makes sense that he had a lot of enemies. I don't like that. I still think he was... Yeah, it's funny. Even the best people who just spout truth, by the way, are still going to have the weirdest haters. And usually a lot of these people, I've noticed, who hate Charlie Kirk are severely mentally ill. Like, severely. That's my observation. They'll act crazy. They're people I would avoid. Charlie wouldn't, though. Charlie, in my opinion, was a better man. He would actually have sincere concern. He might mock them a little bit, but, you know, because they mock Charlie. Charlie was good at mocking back. He bit back a bit, as he should. I will say one thing that Charlie Kirk did was he exposed how toxic the left actually was. He exposed the levels of toxicity that existed within the left culture. Notice how much vandalism happened just because he was showing up at a college campus. Seriously. Isn't that insane? All because he was showing up to speak about his conservative Christian values. Doesn't sound like a bad dude to me. Sounds like bad people on college campuses. It sounds like college kids are the problem. Annoying college kids are the problem, who are radicalized by their communist socialist professors. That sounds like a problem. And if you think I'm wrong, I don't care. It's my opinion. This is an opinion show. You're more than welcome to form your own opinions in the chat. Let's keep going.
They're paid a lot of money to do this. They're agitators. They're paid agitators. Remember that? When you see they all have the same beautifully printed sign, every sign is identical, comes out of a top-level print shop. That's not the signs that are made in somebody's basement. Those are paid for by very bad people, and hopefully we're going to be finding out through the DOJ who those people are. At another college, Antifa terrorists shattered windows, threw rocks, and tried to storm the building where Charlie was speaking. It was a really bad one. Often dozens of police officers were needed to prevent left-wing violence. And the violence comes largely from the left. You don't hear that from too many people, do you? And virtually every day for years, before he was murdered, Charlie received these horrible death threats. People don't know. I used to talk to him about it. He said, I got some threats. He always felt that when they actually made the threat, they were not the ones to worry about. The ones to worry about were the ones that don't make their threats. And I think you know what I mean. He knew the risk, but he and I shared a certain motto, never back down and never ever surrender. Just don't surrender, never back down. He believed in it so strongly. So strongly. And he's right. He's totally right. The radicals and their allies in the media, sometimes referred to, as my son said, the fake news media, tried to silence.
From what I heard, I think Barron Trump... It's cool that Trump mentioned his son on this one, because I think Barron was a pretty big Charlie Kirk fan. Like, I think Barron was probably one of the reasons... You could actually probably thank Barron Trump for really aligning... Probably found a way to get... I don't know if it was Barron. I don't know if it was Don Jr. Somebody in Trump's circle probably was able to communicate with Kirk and get Kirk on board on the mega bandwagon. Kirk was a uniter. If you think about it, Charlie Kirk was a good uniter. Good at uniting people. Maybe within the Republican Party. I will admit, I I would say a lot of the leftists had Kirk derangement syndrome. They just got angry every time they'd see him, or every time he spoke. How terrible of a person he is. Blah, 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 blah. Dude, sorry. Charlie Kirk was not a bad dude. Did it ever occur to you that the person that you hate him because you hate yourself? Seriously, think about that. You hate, a lot of you guys who hate Charlie Kirk and think he was this monster, really, at the end of the day, you hate yourself and all the hatred that you feel in your heart. It's really classic projection 101. So, I'm a huge fan of Charlie. I think he's the greatest. Enough said. You know, say what you want. Say I'm fascista or whatever the hell you idiots want to say. I'm not. You know what I am? I'm somebody who actually loves America. I really do. I love America. I love freedom. I really do. I'm not much of a gun guy personally, but I do believe in the Second Amendment because it's to protect yourself from a tyrannical government. Because even in today's age, a bad government can prop up and try to turn the Constitution against you. That can happen. So, First Amendment and Second Amendment are so crucial, so very crucial, and I hope more people can acknowledge that. I want to apologize. I'm just a little heated. You know, this is, I have not watched Trump's speech at Charlie Kirk's funeral. It's firing me up, man. I mean, I'll never vote Democrat again, that's for sure. Like, there was at one point a little bit of an inkling of a chance that I might. But after Charlie Kirk was assassinated and seeing all the psychos on the internet who we all know which way they align, who were cheering for the shooter on what he did, it's just sick. It's just sick. And it made me realize that the left, the culture of the left, it's just social degeneracy. It's anarchy and social degeneracy. And I'm not for that. Sorry. I will say that even though I'm agnostic, if I were to choose the type of person I'd like to hang around the most, I prefer hanging around Christians. Also, I do like hanging around other agnostic people because they tend to be pretty open-minded. But atheists are pretty tough to be around. Atheists and anarchists are pretty tough. I just want small government. Yeah. People, you know, the people in the chat's getting real ugly. The chat is getting real ugly in here. Stop with the ugliness, you guys. Stop with the ugliness. Chat keeps going crazy, dude. The chat is insane. The chat's getting too big for me to handle. Oh, man.
Charlie for a simple reason, because he was winning, and he was winning big. He was taking over college campuses. Colleges that had, in theory, only very liberal, or as they like to say, progressive. I call them liberal, but they like to call themselves, because such a beautiful word, progressive. They're the opposite of progressive, if you think about it. But they were really nasty, and he would go into these colleges. All of a sudden, within 2 years, 3 years, they turned into bastions of conservatism. It was really quite amazing to see. They lied about him because they...
It's funny. I think Charlie Kirk, just because of how great of a person and how kind of a person he was, I think what happened at the end of it was he turned Calling college campuses conservative, basically. It's wild. It's crazy to think about, man. Such a big deal, man. I'm looking at a couple things real quick. Sorry about that, folks. Some analytics. Some analytics is what I was looking for. All right. That's it, man. All right, let's take a look at the poll real quick. The poll says, should all the people in the chat who are hating give me a super chat? The question is, once again, we've got 9 votes so far. Should all the people in the chat who are hating give me a super chat? 22% of you said yes. 78% of you said no. Got it. It's a bunch of haters is what I'm seeing, man. Let's keep watching.
They did not want you to listen to him or to learn from him because what he was talking about and even preaching made so much sense. Everywhere he went, he won the debates, he won the hearts, he won the minds, and yes, he won the elections for people. He helped us, he helped other people. We won the biggest election.
Like I said, Charlie Kirk helped Trump win the youth vote. Elon Musk did not help really that much with the youth vote. In fact, I don't know if the youth really like Elon Musk. But the youth love Charlie Kirk. In fact, a lot of young conservatives and even centrists loved Charlie Kirk. The batshit crazy people, though, they hate him, unfortunately. Jack's Cab Confessions. I have not seen the new Charlie Kirk shooting footage. I already saw the original, and I was sick to my stomach. But yeah, no, I was sick to my stomach after watching that, man. After watching the original. It was sick. Disgusting. So the poll says, should all the people in the chat who are hating give me a super chat? 27% say yes, 73% say no. That's funny. Ugh. How did it come to this? How did it ever come to this? Have you turned on your TV? Can you see reality? Have you found the program that you found your whole life looking for?
in the history of our country, I believe. Charlie Kirk was without a doubt among the most influential figures in the most important election in the history of our country. The election of, that beautiful day, November 5th, 2024. Do you remember that day? It was 9 months ago. What a day that was. I mean, we had a pretty good day in the first one. And I must tell you, on the second one, we had a phenomenal day. But a lot of bad things happened. And now that's not even questioned. They cheated like dogs, but we got them back, didn't we, huh? Got them back. But we owe Charlie a profound and eternal debt of gratitude now. Just like Charlie and Erica made Turning Point hot, we are looking at a country that has the chance to attain a level like never before. Tariffs are making us rich again, richer than anybody ever thought was possible. And the only one challenging them are people that hate our country or foreign countries that are paying a price because they did the same thing to us for years.
Yeah, no, agreed. Tariffs, man. You know, Charlie loved this country, and Charlie was smart enough to understand why tariffs are actually not a bad thing. Tariffs in this instance could help us pay down the debt, by the way. We could take the money that we get from the tariffs to pay down the 36 trillion, $37 trillion debt. It's insane, dude. America's debt is rough. We need to acknowledge that. We need to do something about it. It's huge. How did it come to this? How did it ever come to this? Have you turned on your TV? Have you seen reality? Have you seen the program that you spent your whole life looking for? All right, so we got 15 votes. So the poll question goes like this: should all the people in the chat who are hating give me a super chat? And we got 16 votes so far. 25% of you say yes. 75% of you say no. Interesting.
They took advantage of us, but we're making money. We're becoming richer and richer, and we're taking care of our people better and better when we do that. And we can take care of other countries better and better, but we're doing unbelievably well. The tariffs have really been a hold. The election was big, but the tariffs, because of the election, came in. And remember, other nations do that to us. And Charlie understood that. He saw the money. He saw what was coming into our country, and we can use that for Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, all of these things that we fight so hard for. And that's exactly what's happening. The numbers are incredible. When the news finally came out on election night last November that the race was officially won, came out pretty early in the night. Charlie was live on camera. In that moment, he was overcome with emotion. I've never seen him like this. He was so happy. For a long while, he said nothing. His eyes were filled with tears, and then he buried his face in his hands, and he started crying. That wasn't the Charlie I knew, but in thinking about it, it actually was the Charlie I knew, because he had a tremendous heart. He just wanted what was good for our country, and he saw us going in such a horrible direction. Lovingly, Eric, and this was so beautiful, Erica put a MAGA hat on to cover his bowed head. I like that very much. MAGA, we love. Does everybody love MAGA? Make America great again.
Without a doubt, brother. Without a doubt. We do, man. We do. That makes sense that, Charlie would... Charlie did wear his emotions on his sleeve but he really did have a big heart. He wanted to see what was best for America. He noticed the societal decay. And a part of me, it feels like he's kind of like a long-lost brother of mine. We both hated big government. We saw that there was this societal decay. We saw that there was a rot in society. I couldn't quite put my fingers on it, but Charlie could. Charlie seemed to understand the root cause of the rot of society. I always thought that was pretty cool. I mean, I have my hilarious assumptions, but on why the rot of society happens. I won't go into all those, but I felt like Charlie was the most honest out of all of us, though.
When Joe Biden used to get up, remember the speeches? We will stop MAGA. We will stop MAGA. You know, he could barely get the words out. We will stop. I said, can somebody inform him that MAGA means make America great again? How do you say you're going to stop it? And Charlie understood.
That is a funny irony. Because that's what, look, I know people associate MAGA with, like, the radical leftists will associate MAGA with fascist, Nazi, you name it, all the stupid stuff, right? And what they don't understand is that the Make America Great Again movement is not about oppressing anybody. And in fact, if anything, it's just the complete opposite. It's about seeing a better America, seeing a better tomorrow. That matters to some people. And we believe that things like communism and socialism are not the answer. If anything, they're the root cause of the problem, more than anything. So yeah, I'm a big, huge admirer of Mr. Kirk. I think what he did was nothing short of amazing. And I think Turning Point USA, great organization, man. Fantastic organization, if anything. Let's keep going.
Said that when Charlie finally looked up and spoke, he smiled through the watery eyes and simply said, I am humbled by God's grace. That was his statement that night. I was watching him. I was very impressed, actually. It showed he had a big heart. Every single American should take a long, hard look at the twisted soul and dark spirit of anyone who would want to kill a young man as good as Charlie. To kill anybody, but to kill a man like this, he didn't deserve this. He didn't deserve this. Our country didn't deserve this. And anyone who would make excuses for it are just out of their minds. An attack on one man.
Yeah, exactly. People making excuses, just like Trump said. People making excuses for it. You know, he said things that were divisive. He said things that may get him killed. It's like, no, we shouldn't be living in this type of society. Why does it have to be commonplace? Why does that sort of sick degradation have to be a commonplace?
I'll be honest, my first therapy session did not go well, but it taught me something important. You don't get the best results by picking a
Man as good as Charlie. To kill anybody, but to kill a man like this, he didn't deserve this. He didn't deserve this. Our country didn't deserve that night. I was watching him. I was very impressed. On our most sacred liberties and God-given rights, the gun was pointed at him, but the bullet was aimed at all of us. That bullet was aimed at every one of us. Ideas that virtually everyone in this arena and most other places throughout our country deeply believed in. But
my internet connection seems to be kind of spotty at the moment. I'm going to pause the video, Might even, it's at 480p. Crap. Well, I'll tell you what, for right now, we'll stop reacting to that video. And, because I think it might be the video or something. I'm not even too sure what's causing this. I think the connection's back. Maybe not so much. Yeah, sorry about that, you guys. We're dropping a lot of frames. I don't even know how the quality of the show is at the moment, so I'll take a look. It just seems like we're running into some technical difficulties, probably an internet outage in the area. We might be dealing with a little bit of an internet outage right now. Hold on. Some people in the chat are just too sick. Too many sickos in the chat right now. So I think I do have to close down. Hold on. I'm going to close out Chrome. And I'm going to open Chrome back up. Maybe, just maybe. I don't know what's up with my connection, man. My video, the bit rate is just fluctuating in so many stupid ways. Might be a bit of an internet outage in the area. So actually, I may have to restart the system depending. Maybe. Hold on. We had a lot of dropped frames in the last, few moments. I don't want the stream to go. There we go. I think we're back. I think we're back and ready to roll. Here we are. Last, few moments. I don't want the stream to go. Yeah, we're back. We're back and ready to attack. I think there was just some intermittent issues. I think Chrome was taking up too much memory and processing power. So I think I just had to restart Chrome, was really what it boiled down to. Yeah, challenges, you're right. Trump has made America great. Best president since Lincoln. I cannot disagree with that. I think you're accurate. I really do. I personally think Trump's the man. Like, straight up, I think he's cool. So, overall, I mean, Trump's speech at Mr. Kirk's funeral did feel like a presidential speech, for sure. But a lot of the things he said about Charlie, man, I mean, if you look at the way he was glowing when he was talking about Mr. Kirk, like, that's a man who admired Charlie Kirk, the president of the United States. And I think Charlie had a lot more admirers than haters at the end of the day. That's the way I like to look at it. I believe it's true. Because there weren't as many haters as one would come to believe. A lot of the haters, it like turns out, were bots on the internet, and in some crazy college students and stuff, and crazy liberal professors. Yeah, and that's just what it turned out to be. Charlie had more people who liked him, who loved him, than people who hated him. And people should realize that about Mr. Kirk. Yeah, Trump hates his enemies. Don't we all hate our enemies to some degree? We don't want to have to deal with them. I mean, don't all you leftists want to take out your enemies? You seem to hate Charlie Kirk. You saw him as your enemy. You were fine. A lot of you guys seemed to be okay with what happened, so that's my analysis. There was a lot of TikToks of people, of very cringy TikToks of people celebrating his death, and I thought that was wrong. Yeah, Kirk was good for America. Sorry about that, bud. I know you want to believe he wasn't, but he was good for America, for sure. But yeah, all I got to say at this point is Vance 2028. Let's have a successful Trump presidency in Vance 2028. I want to see Vance. I'd rather have Vance in my pants than Walls on my balls. Evil Tim Smith is in the house. Hello, Dingus. Oh my God, Evil Tim Smith strikes again. All right, you guys, we're going to be answering super chats for the next 45 minutes. Give me a moment. David Johnson, you look like a smug liberal. Sorry. All right, so if you guys have any super chat questions, we'll be answering super chats for the next 45 minutes exclusively. Now, while we're waiting for super chats to come in, I do want to talk about I'm a huge fan of Charlie Kirk, and I firmly believe in everything he did. Not everything, but for the most part, everything. Actually, yeah, I didn't always agree with what he said, but you can't agree with every single mentor that you have, you know what I mean? That's just impossible. So, he did, I think he did things right, man. I think he did things right. One moment, I do have to use the restroom. BRB, LOL. Any super chats that you guys send in, I'll answer them on my phone while I'm taking a big fat dump. Okay, I'm back. Did you guys miss me? Did you guys miss me at all? I'm sure you guys were like wondering, oh, where was old Mikey G at? Was he taking a poop? I don't know. I don't know what I did. I don't know what to feel. What did I do to you, most toast? I don't know what to say. And I don't know what to feel. I'm going to sing a song that I believe will unite the people. I'm going to unite the people here. Have you guys ever heard of Russell Watson, by the way? The GOAT. The greatest of all time. You guys ready? It's been a long road getting from there to here. It's been a long time, but my time is finally near. And I can feel the change in the wind right now. Nothing's in my way, and they're not gonna hold me down no more. No, they're not gonna change my mind, 'cause I've got faith of the heart. I'm going where my heart will take me. I've got faith to believe I can do anything. I've got strength of the soul, and no one's gonna bend or break me. I can reach any star, 'cause I've got faith. I've got faith. Faith of the heart. It's been a long night trying to find my way. Been through the darkness. Now I finally have my day. I dedicate this to my boy, dude. Charlie Kirk, baby. He the man. And I will see my dream come alive at last. And I will touch the sky. And they're not gonna hold me down no more. No, they're not gonna change my mind. 'Cause I've got faith of the heart. Going where my heart will take me. Oh, wait. Dude, I mean, I appreciate the super chat, Nate Dogg, but I've been betrayed. I have been betrayed by my homie telling me to stop singing the greatest song of all time. Hold on. Hold on. Did I just get faith blocked? I just got faith blocked, all right? My homie, Nate Dogg. I am so glad. Maybe that's the secret to getting super chats, is just sing songs that will make people's ears hurt, right? Quickly, I just want to finish. You know, when you interrupt somebody, Nathan, when you interrupt somebody singing Faith of the Heart, it's like interrupting somebody who's whacking it. You may want to tell them to stop it because you're there, but you can't. You want to know why? Because you got to finish, okay? Because I've got faith of the heart. I'm going where my heart will take me. I've got faith to believe I can do anything. You don't have the skip intro now. And nothing's gonna stop me from singing this. But if you don't wanna hear it at all, you've got faith. You've got faith. Faith of the mute button. Nate Dogg, I agree with this. Look, if you have to finish, right? If somebody walks in and you're whacking it, you're not just going to stop. Why would you stop? It's their fault for walking in on you. All right? So you got, just like Nate Dogg said, dude, you got to double down and stare into their eyes. I will say this, Nathan. We may disagree on faith of the heart, but at least we dig each other. When weakness turns my ego up, you know you count on a man from yesterday. If I turn into a llama, dig me up from under what is covering the better part of me. Sing this song. Remind me that we'll always have each other. I need to get a lighter. Hold on. All right. More appropriately. Remind me that we'll always have each... We're just doing this for the effect of the concert. Each other, when everything else is gone. Oh, each other, when everything else is gone. Oh, each other. Okay, there we go. All right, I had to do the lighter for effect, you know. Faith of the heart is the reason Netflix invented the skip intro button. I will admit that is correct. And Joe Biden is the reason they got rid of the dislike button on YouTube. That's my theory. But yes, so faith of the I will admit, faith of the heart, it's like, you know, the first time you hear it, you're like, okay, this is something, this is different. And then you hear faith of the heart several times and you're like, okay, we get it. Let's move past the intro, please. Yeah. And you know, like a famous movie quote, a quote that I particularly like, but I hate the movie, is you were not chosen, you were called upon. Quote unquote Chuck Norris. From one of the worst movies I've ever watched. The quote has been growing on me lately. I don't know why. But I want you to hear the quote again. By the way, it's one of the most deceptive. You guys want to watch the trailer? Let's watch the trailer. I want to actually, hold on. Agent Recon is what it's called. So, I want to show you guys the trailer to one of the worst movies of all time. Okay? And I want you guys to tell me what you think of the trailer. Because I thought the trailer was pretty cool. But Nathan and I, we watched this movie. And we were, I think we hit a state of depression for like an hour after watching that movie. We were so stunned at just how bad this movie actually was. Like, we were dumbfounded. So, speaking of skip intro, there needs to be a skip movie button for this movie. Okay? Nathan, I'm sorry to subject you to this. Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh, man. I'm sorry to subject you to this, but this is, I think the invention of the skip intro button is the reason this movie exists. That's my hot take of the day. God, this movie was so bad. This movie really sucked, you guys. Let's watch the trailer.
Momentum.
Oh, damn it. Not another cologne ad. Yes, Michael B. Jordan. Yes, Michael B. Jordan, we get you.
Team Cobra has gone down. Checking for survivors. Reinforcements are on their way.
Now tell me, does this seem like the intro to one of the greatest movies of all time? Like, I'm going to tell you, the trailer does not do justice to how bad this movie actually was. The trailer is going to make this movie seem a million times better than what this actual movie is. Now, if you are somebody who is into BDSM and being a bottom, you know, maybe you're into inflicting pain on yourself. If you like to inflict pain on yourself and you want to feel a sense of emptiness, watch the entire Agent Recon movie. Now, the ad makes, by the way, this trailer makes the movie seem so much better than it is. And it makes you think that Chuck Norris is going to have a bigger role in this movie. You literally see Chuck Norris maybe, if you're lucky, a grand total of, I don't even think up to 10 minutes. I don't even think we got to the double digits. I want to say maybe 9 minutes if we were lucky enough. 9 minutes or less of Chuck Norris. And I'm not willing to watch that movie again to see how much Norris was in there. I love Chuck Norris, man. Nathan and I were gay for Chuck Norris. But this movie, it didn't hurt Chuck Norris's legacy, but I think it hurt the soul of two dudes in their 30s. And probably more dudes who are in their 30s. Let's watch.
All right, listen up. The infecteds are ruthless, strong, and they're smart.
Don't forget, I can't forget also how bad the acting is. Sorry, let's
We
keep
were
going.
on a recon mission, killing infecteds. When we got redirected here, it'd be an emergency. I want a ready op ASAP.
We thought you could use the help.
Alistair? Yes, Jim.
In the whole cyborg thing, by the way, or robot, basically, spoiler alert if anybody even ends up watching this, I'm going to read the comment here real quick. Nate Dogg says, bunch of Power Ranger buddy soldiers. Yes.
His nearby base was running tests.
Where's Faction 13 now?
Captain Rupert hasn't responded in a week.
We gotta go now.
I will protect my team.
I just want to tell you guys just how bad this movie was. It was just, the story made no sense. Even in the trailer, I think the problem was we got so hyped up for Chuck Norris, just seeing him in the trailer. We thought Chuck Norris was going to have so much more of a role. And the biggest disappointment was the lack. The lack of Mr. Norris. Bunch of Power Ranger putty soldiers. Oh, man. This movie... It was pretty rough. Nathan and I can really attest to just how bad this movie was, and it was bad. Let's keep rolling.
Then let's get started.
We need a team that knows how to work together.
And yeah, the trailer makes you think that Chuck Norris is going to do all these action scenes in so much of the movie. The irony is, the only action sequence you get of Chuck Norris is at the very end of the movie. By the way, spoiler alerts, everybody. Honestly, watching this movie spoils, honestly, your hope for good movies. And this isn't the way that Chuck Norris needs to go out. This is one of those movies that just needs to be buried. Just bury it. Don't even. Just bury it somewhere. Never think about it again. But honestly, the movie rears its ugly head. It lives rent-free in my mind. Not all the time. But it lives in the depths of my mind. Because I love Chuck Norris. But then, this movie. I think about Chuck Norris, then this movie. I think about this fucking movie. Oh my god. Now, I'm not like super mad about this movie. I'm just disappointed. It's really a level of disappointment and sadness that I felt about this. And that was the biggest part about it. Let's keep going.
I come out there. That's the plan.
Hit him!
Oh, Jim, I got this.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's a bait and switch trailer. The trailer made the movie seem so much better than the actual movie, and the worst part about it is this. My biggest takeaway from all this is, well, I'm just gonna type in. I'm not gonna actually watch any Elon Musk, but Elon Musk, Donald Trump. There we go. Just so we got some thumbnails of that to stick with the title of the show. Anyway, look at that Chuck Norris movie. Shouldn't even be considered a Chuck Norris movie. It should just be like guest starring Chuck Norris. You see a little bit of Chuck Norris in the beginning of the movie. You hear his voice a little bit in the movie. He's barely in the movie. The total runtime of Chuck Norris in there is probably under 10 minutes. Let's just say Nathan, my boy Nathan and I were extremely, extremely disappointed in this. We're fairly forgiving when it comes to movies. This, I don't know if I could do better than this. Look, I would imagine directing a movie would be kind of hard, right? But this was bad, dude. You were not chosen. You were called upon. That's one of the biggest quotes in the movie that is repeated several times over and over again. So, having said that, make sure you guys buy or rent Agent Recon on YouTube. Most Toast, dude. Come on, man. Most Toast is clowning on me, bro. Clowning on me. You're making my mussy feel bad, dude. The mussy. My mussy is the bussy, and I don't know why. I don't know why I'm that kind of guy. Still answering some super chats. Except for I answer my boy Nate Dogg. Yeah. So, Nate Dogg says, I think it's on Hulu. Oh, man. It's funny. So, we got a few Tim Smith clones. We got Evil Tim Smith in the chat, and we got Nepali Tim Smith. I don't know what's going on, man. It's Tim Smith clones everywhere. But yeah, if you guys want to see it on Hulu, look for it on Hulu. Be warned. If you're looking for a movie that lacks Chuck Norris but promises Chuck Norris, yeah, this is the movie for you. If you like a movie that makes no effing sense and the plot is so bloody confusing, this one's for you. If after they give the explanation at the beginning of the movie what's going on and you're still confused as hell because the explanation was trash, this movie's for you. This movie is for you. If you like this. Robert, I do not have one. I do not have a Hulu promo. I don't have Hulu. I don't have Netflix. I don't even have YouTube Premium. YouTube pays me. It's funny, whenever I react to videos, I still don't have YouTube Premium. Now, if YouTube gifted me a YouTube Premium subscription, I would obviously accept it. But it would have to be a gift. Absolutely. 100%. Oh yeah, I forgot. My boy Jay Nawatz wants me to. I forgot to check. I keep forgetting to check my Twitter because I just don't use Twitter at all. It's just one of those things. I'm not a Twitter guy. Too many Tim Smiths in the house, man. Too many fake Tim Smiths are taking over the chat. Hold on, I gotta check my she-mail. I call it my she-mail, not Gmail. Any important emails? No important emails. Cool. I gotta check X real quick. I'm about to bust. Oh, the Mariners clinched the AL West. The Mariners are back in the playoffs, baby. We're back. Interesting. So my boy Jordan Nowotny said that, well, not Nowotny, my boy Nobody said this. something that Mr. Nobody said in chat that Blair White said. They don't kill people because they are Nazis. They call you a Nazi so they can justify killing you. That's a good quote. That's a great quote. That makes sense because it's like people throw the word Nazi around so much. Like, I may like Charlie Kirk, and I think Kirk was the man. I like Donald Trump. It doesn't make me a Nazi. You calling me a Nazi and you calling everybody a Nazi who disagrees with you is not good. It's not good. And it also makes it to where nobody takes the word Nazi seriously anymore. Nobody even takes the word fascist seriously anymore because it's used in all the wrong contexts, and it's just bullshit. Give me 1 second, folks. I'm just checking out a couple things on X. Yeah, my X following's not too bad. Yeah, I didn't realize I had 48 followers on X. Nice. Huh, cool. I want to be ninja. I want to be ninja. I want to chop. Sorry. Yeah. I got a problem, you guys. Oh, VDO.ninja. Got it. Okay. Heck yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to stay on too much longer tonight. I'm going to probably take a shower in just a little bit, but give me a second. All right, so we got 44 votes. Should all the people in the chat who are hating give me a super chat? 36% say yes. 64% say no. Interesting. Interesting. Oh my God. All right, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and like the channel, we love to highlight all the chats. We like to simp for the simps. And we like to pimp for the pimps. Simp for the simps. I'm the greatest. I'm the gayest. I'm the man. Everybody knows I'm the man. Losing my... I don't know. Losing my touch. All right, so what else are we going to talk about here in the last part of the hour? Let's see. I'm the man, dude. Hey, Kevin on the streets, I'm the man. Who's the man? I'm the man. Who's the man with a plan? I'm the man. I don't give a damn. I'm the man. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I got gas in the tank. I got money in the bank. I got news for you, baby. You're looking at the man. I got skin in the game. I'm heading for the Hall of Fame. I got news for you, baby, baby. You're looking at the man, right hand of God, the first in command, my testimony, I'll take the stand. Let me tell you something now. I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm gonna tell you something here and now. I'm gonna shove so many things inside me. I don't even know what I'm gonna shove inside me next. I'm ready for it all, though. I'm ready for it all now. I'm getting all pumped up thinking about it, all the things that are gonna go in my stank. We got the BK King in the chat and it's making me randy. Oh yeah, wake up with the king. We know what I mean. We gotta go, we gotta flow. Oh, we gotta go, we gotta flow. No, we gotta go, we gotta flow. No, gotta flow, gotta go. No, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I'm sitting on the keyboard with my mouse. I'm about to lube up myself with baby oil. Don't even know why. Cause I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Cause you know what I'm doing right now. The internet is forever. Well, I gave you love, you know it. So when did you outgrow it? Decide that you would find another man. I've been out there shaking. Tell the boys you're chasing. When you get home, I'll be the bigger man. 'Cause I've been thinking about something. I've been thinking about something other than you. Oh, it's got to say, baby, every day I've been thinking about something. I've been thinking about something other than you. Ooh, it's sad to say, but baby, every day you had enough I've had enough of your jaded love. You give it every day. Damn, bam, 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 bam. I try to deny it through lonely nights, and I'm down, done getting played. I said, come on, girl, don't want to make that same mistake. Bam, 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 bam. You've been out there fooling, but I'm not thinking about you. And I've been getting the love that moves me. Well, you've been getting around, yeah. You've been out there fooling, but I'm not thinking about you. I've been getting the love that moves me. Well, you've been getting around, yeah. You've been out there fooling, but I'm not thinking about you. I've been getting the love that moves me. Well, you've been getting around, yeah. All right, here we go. So, overall, everybody's got faith of the heart. I do, I've been told that. I look very, very Mormon. So every time I go to like the Mormon church to play basketball, which it's been a long time since I went to the Mormon church to play ball, but I think every now and then I should probably go down there and just play some hoops. It would be fun to actually film myself, like shooting around on the hoops. Because I look Mormon, they might just let me do it. And so yeah, I do love going to the Mormon church to play ball, though. Look, chat, I know you guys think I'm a little bit of a loser, and you're a little bit right. Doing the best I can, brony brothers. Just being a brony. It's not easy being a brony, all right? So, what do you guys think about, just real quick, before we end the stream, because I do want to go to bed kind of early tonight. I'm pretty tired. Do you guys think that Trump and Elon are back together? Like hand in hand, holding hands, because I think they are, man. I think Mega's back, dude. I think Mega is back. you know, Elon Musk and Donald Trump reuniting, and they're ready to get back to work. And hey, I could not be more thrilled because I'm a Trump fan. All right, I love Donald Trump. I think he's the GOAT. All right. Oh no, Robert Blake unsubbed. Hey, before you go, Robert Blake, before you go away forever, can you give me a super chat, please? Robert Blake, can you please give me a super chat? I know you want to. I know you want to give me a super chat, Robert. So just hand it over. But aren't you guys happy that Trump and Elon Musk mended the fences? That they're buddies again, dude. That they're bros. They're bronies, dude. We're bronies. We're back. I guess what makes me happy is that Mega's back. Make Mega great again. All right? Oh, man. Technically, that would be, yeah, anyway, I'm pretty excited. Mega's back. Oh, I hear a lot of pounding. I'm not too sure what's going on, but I'm hearing an extreme amount of pounding. One moment. Well, I'm not too sure what the pounding was about, but it's whatever at this point. But yeah, it's really weird. I heard like some, I don't know if it was pounding there or there. I know my neighbor next door is listening to some music, and then yeah. Sometimes you just don't know what the hell's going on. Give me a moment. I'm doing some quick research. Am I logged in? I wish you'd step from that ledge, my friend. You could cut ties for the lies that you've been living in. And if you do not want to see me again, I would understand. I seen over the secret pain. You know you don't belong. Filters. Here we go. Let's look at some filters here. I'm adding an interesting filter, so you guys have to give me a second. I believe it would be under the color key. Yes. So 80%. 80%. Actually, how does that look on mobile? Let me take a look and see what that looks like on mobile. Because I think it would be one of those things that, like, I would have to look at. Give me just a few more moments, folks. I'm trying to gauge how this is going to look. Sorry, you guys, doing a little bit of interesting research. I still think that's just a little... Hold on, maybe that's not as transparent as I think it is. I just want to see how this looks on a mobile phone. Yeah. Interesting. What if we go 85%? If we go 85%, that might be better. Let's try that again. Filters. Yeah, we'll edit the filter. 85. Let's try 85. Okay, that's actually not bad at all. If anything, that might be an upgrade or an improvement. Let's take a look and see what it is on vertical with screen. Okay, so we'll go back to vertical. We'll see what that looks like on vertical. Trying to figure out, like... Well, anyway. It's transparent either way. Not bad. Not bad at all. We did it, guys. Thank you for your help. Let me take a look at here and let's try something real quick. So I just want to see, like, how transparent this is. This is going to be weird. I'm just doing something real quick. Doing a little experiment in how transparent this actually is. Okay. Yeah, let's make it a little more transparent. Like, we're talking, aesthetically speaking, making the chat overlay so it's saying 85%. I'm going to say 83. Let's try 83. We're getting close to, I mean, as long as it's not below 80. So we could try going down to, like, I think 82 would be good. We're flirting with it. We're not there yet. All right. Well, I think we're on the right path. Well, let's try this one more time. So I'm trying to measure the opacity of this. Boom. 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 Boom, 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 boom. Okay, cool. That's kind of neat. Okay, that works perfect. That looks perfect. So, so we got that, and looks really good right here. Boom. Yeah, I was trying to make sure that there's transparency. I'm trying to find the transparency, the best amount. So I think 82% on here is fine for the, to keep 82% of it visible, 18% of it kind of faded. Yeah. Always a good effect at the end of the day. There we go. Well, I do want to thank everybody for being a part of the stream. Really appreciate it big time, you guys. It does help out the channel a lot. More than you know. More subscribers we have, the better. It helps the channel grow. We're doing the best we can. Well, let me see what happens if I get in. Get it. Yeah, just trying to work out something real quick. Kemoy Chapman, what up, dude? Member of the show, Kemoy Chapman, if you guys want to become a member. Kemoy Chapman just got here. I'm not going to be online, at least I'm not going to be on YouTube Live, probably for no more than 10 minutes. But yeah, probably going to be on here for probably just another 10 more minutes, yeah. I think that's probably how much I got in me at the moment. But yeah, it feels really good. Really just enjoy doing the show. Interesting. Kemoy Chapman. Sorry, you guys. I'm kind of experimenting with a couple of things on here. My bad. I don't mean to ignore everybody. It's just kind of late and not many people on the chat, and trying to, trying to get a few things squared away. But I do want to thank you guys for, thank you, Nate Dogg, for the super chat, man. I really do appreciate it. I am tired, though. I got to get to bed. I'm going to try to get up early, take a shower. This weekend, I'm probably going to do some DoorDash and stuff and make sure I'm super productive and everything. And just being as smart as I can. As smart as I can, at least, hopefully. There we go. So I think I came to the conclusion that 80% exactly is the best for a package, the transparency, the opaqueness. The opaqueness level is at 80%. Technically, it's 20% opaque in this scenario. Really cool, though. I love fiddling with some of these functions. I like trying to fiddle, make sure it's all working. Give me one more moment, though. I only have the ability to comprehend super chats. I can't comprehend regular chats for some reason. I didn't... When I went to school, super chats were my primary language, and then I never learned how to read regular chats. It sucks. It's been tough. What am I watching? I mean, Robert Blake, it will help me get eyebrows. I think, honestly, super chats will eventually help me get eyebrows. If I get enough super chats, I can get the eyebrows I need to succeed in this world. The more eyebrow, I mean, clearly the reason I'm not succeeding in this world and why I'm discriminated against is because of my lack of eyebrows. Is that it? And I know a lot of people are jealous about my lack of eyebrows. Well, you and me, we can ride on a star. If you stay with me, girl, we can rule the world. Yeah, you and me, we can light up the sky. If you stay by my side, we can rule the world. If walls break down, I will comfort you. I'll be there, yeah, yeah. Don't close your eyes. Don't fade away. Don't fade away. Oh, yeah, you and me, we can ride on a star. If you stay with me, girl, we can rule the world. Yeah, you and me, we can light up the sky. If you stay by my side, we can rule the world. All the stars are coming out tonight. They're lighting up the sky tonight. For you, for you. All the stars are coming out tonight. They're lighting up the sky tonight. For you, for you, oh. Yeah, you and me, we can ride on a star. If you stay with me, girl, we can rule the world. Yeah, you and me, we can light up the sky. If you stay by my side, we can rule the world. Let's take that, man. But whatever you may, ever you got, ever you want, and I'll take back again whatever you make, ever you got, whatever you want. Well, I'll take back again. And there's no holding me back. I'm not driven by fear, I'm just driven by anger, and you're under attack. I'm just climbing up slowly, the one and only I. The hate, the lies, stolen your mind, the fear, the one that's inside. It's been messing with mine, to whatever you may, ever you got, ever you want. Well, I'll take back again whatever you make, whatever you got, ever you want. I'll take back again. Actually, more people said yes than I anticipated. I thought like less people would say yes, but more people said yes than I anticipated, so pretty cool. There's no holding me back. I'm not driven by fear, I'm just driven by anger. And thoughts I have keep holding me back. Just Brad, dude, what is up, dude? I'm just climbing up slowly. The one and only. Oh. So Brad Ladkin says, my wife's not happy because I can't get to you. So have to go. She hates you. And you sing like... Dude, Brad, you are like the most hateful person. Like, there's a lot of hateful people in the chat, but Brad, just for some reason, Brad stands out, dude. Brad stands out. He's just too hateful. But I do want to thank everybody for subscribing to the channel. More subscribers we have, the better. We're really trying to up the subscriber count. So if you guys can please, anybody who hasn't subscribed yet, please make sure you take the time to hit the subscribe button. Like I said, it really helps the channel out. Yeah. And let me see. I'm going to do a 15-second short. Yeah, here we go. So I get a few questions about my setup all the time. This is what it looks like. My Yeti microphone, my Logitech Brio webcam. I use Streamlabs desktop, and look at that. Boom. Got the chat. Got everybody in here. Boom. Here we go. Okay, that didn't turn out as good as I thought it would. Hold on. So this is my basic setup, Logitech Brio webcam, Yeti mic, and I got OBS Studio. Well, Streamlabs OBS desktop. Now, I got it in the vertical format, obviously. Got the chat. We don't want to read the hate from the chat, but this is all what we're doing. Streamlabs OBS desktop. Now I got it in the vertical format, obviously. Got the chat. We don't want to read the hate from the chat, but this is my basic setup, Logitech Brio webcam, Yeti mic, and I got OBS Studio. Well, Streamlabs OBS. There's a lot of haters in the chat, man. A lot of haters. Kemoy Chapman says that's my baby. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Oh, man. All right, reading some of the chat. Evil Tim Smith, man, dude. So many haters. I have not watched that yet. Taylor Matt, I've not watched that at all yet. Don't watch this channel. Who deleted that comment? All hail the algorithm. I'll let YouTube algorithm lead me back to you. Damn. But make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. The more viewers we get, the better. More subscribers we get, the better. We're trying to make this an 8-hour-a-day show. Not every episode's going to be 8 hours, but we're going to try to pump out 2-hour shows every day, a variety of shows. You know, ones that cover different things. 2 shows. 2 will cover popular events or figures, right? Things that are going on. What's my take? What can we get out of this? What can we learn from this? One or two will be about investing of some kind, some type of investing or finance or something like that, or trashing an investing concept, or trashing, you know, Ponzi schemes like Bitcoin. You know, we love trashing Bitcoin on this channel. It's really something we pride ourselves in, and we think that trashing something that is phony baloney dildo money is worth it. Look, Bitcoin is phony baloney dildo money, whether you guys like to admit it or not. But, you know, to each their own. But the more subscribers we have, the better. So please hit the subscribe button. Helps the channel grow. Helps me grow. Kemoy Chapman says, I do like to read a simp for Kemoy Chapman because Kemoy's been so awesome to this show. Kemoy's been a crazy contributor to this show. Kemoy Chapman says, I'm a simp for Garza's blue eyes, unfortunately. Hey, thank you, brother. I got them baby blues. I can't help it. Get them baby blues. But I think everybody viewing right now is a subscriber, which is dope. We need more simp subscribers, though. It's really the goal. We need more people simping. Oh, man. RKR legs. Bye, dude. Later, dude. Bye. You will not be missed. Get out of here, dude. Look, brother. Eyebrows on vanish mood. Ooh. This guy is going away. Everybody say bye to RKR Leg H. Good riddance, man. Good riddance. But any last second super chats, any last minute super chats before we end the live stream for the night? Any takers? Just let me know. The more super chats we have, the more we can simp. And the more we can simp, the more we can pimp. All right, you guys, I am actually tired, but I'll catch y'all later. I'm going to end the stream.